Going to tackle this issue head on and be a real partner in ending the corruption tax. He knows that the people of this town and all over the county deserve better. So I invite Dr. Herman to speak about what his vision is.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Legislator Curran, for reminding us how the corruption tax affects each and every local taxpayer here in Nassau County. Town of Oyster Bay residents, me included, have been in extreme shock since receiving our tax bills. With the second half of our tax bills due only a few days from now, we want to send a message that business as usual in the town of Oyster Bay is having devastating effects on our local residents. I'm paying my taxes this year, as we all are, under protest, because we all know that a 72% tax hike in the town's general fund, the main operating budget for everyday town activities, is caused by more than just mismanagement. It's caused by willful neglect and old-fashioned corruption. The town highway fund went up 10.151%. And for what? Our supervisor has been indicted. The town's main contractor has been indicted. Our roads are garbage, and there's no master road plan. We are going to fix all this. We, the taxpayers, are paying over $90 million just to service debt that we already have. That's a full 1/3 of our budget, which goes to pay for the reckless, irresponsible, outrageous borrowing. Borrowing that's used to pay for the bloated salaries of political cronies, shameless self-promotion of our public officials on the taxpayers' dime, and contracts that are awarded without merit and many times without a thorough review process, as well as escalating legal fees by outside high-priced lawyers who've been engaged to defend the town against the ever-rising, plain as day corruption charges that the town is engaged in. It's really sad that hard-working taxpayers, like those standing behind me, have to live with pervasive and systemic corruption. What's worse is the problem is so obvious and so out of control that local residents have adopted a common and universally known expression for the corruption they are forced to put up with: the Oyster Bay way. Now, Oyster Bay residents are fed up with reading about and watching the parade of corruption night after night, not because it's embarrassing, which it is, but because we know that we are the ones that are paying the ultimate price. We pay the price out of our pocketbooks. Now, I think better days are ahead, but only if we vote for better leaders. For anyone who thinks that Acting Supervisor Joseph Saladino is a change, think again. Saladino is a loyal soldier. He's a former employee cut from the same cloth as former Supervisor John Venditto. Saladino worked as the town's chief operations officer under indicted Supervisor John Venditto when he worked in the town of Oyster Bay years ago when all this corruption happened. Saladino is, simply put, a wolf in sheep's clothing, promising reform today until election day comes and then changing his mind. Now, our elected officials play a game, and let me tell you how it's played. They vote to raise taxes in the years without elections in order to fund the mountain of taxpayer mail, signs, and patronage that fund the re-election campaigns. Then they turn around the next year and take credit for everything the taxpayers paid for. Then, when election comes around, they claim that they're now committed to holding the line on taxes. It's a dishonest, insidious, and frankly corrupt game that we're all sick of watching. Now, we're sick of paying this corruption tax and tired of hearing that it's a new day in Oyster Bay. Today is proof positive that it's just another day in Oyster Bay. As anyone who works for a living and pays more than their fair share will tell you, this is outrageous. We need a new set of eyes from top to bottom, from Nassau County all the way down, a new set of eyes and a clear and a clean pair of hands to clean up the town. So again, I thank you all for coming today. Have a great rest of the day. And again, look forward to working with the next Nassau County executive.
If the press has any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
We're going to introduce.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
We have a homeowner.
Ah, Jane McPartland, who lives here, who's been gracious enough to host this press conference, will now speak.
Thank you so much. And first off, I want to say I agree with everything that has been said. My name is Jane McPartland. I grew up in Syosset and I have lived in this house for nearly 50 years. My late husband Jim and I raised our 6 children here. It was the only home they ever knew. My husband was a proud and decorated Marine who fought for our country in Korea. He was also a respected teacher at Syosset High School. He loved his home and he loved this community as I do. I am here today to publicly support and thank Dr. Marc Herman and Laura Curran for their tireless work to educate and energize us, the taxpayers of the town of Oyster Bay, about the state of affairs here. Specifically, we are here to bring attention to the astronomical 72% increase in the general tax fund and the mismanagement which this represents. As a widow and retiree, I honestly don't know how much longer I can remain here and afford these exorbitant taxes and fees that fund the town of Oyster Bay government. Which government, has been said, is in the news on a regular basis because of criminal indictments and multiple charges of corruption. To my mind, this is a devastating betrayal of trust. At the same time, despite these high taxes, our basic services are deteriorating along with our public spaces and buildings. Many people I know share these concerns for themselves as well as their children who find it difficult to afford to continue to live in the town of Oyster Bay. This home means a great deal to me and my family. It is a place of refuge. It is a gathering place for our family. It holds many wonderful memories. Having this home has eased our grief. This past weekend was the 5th anniversary of my husband's death. Everyone came here to honor his memory and celebrate his life. And we all agreed how important it is to have this home in our family and how much we look forward to future celebrations here. I believe that it is important and right that we all pay our fair share of taxes. But it is also imperative that this money is being honestly raised and wisely spent. And I know that this will happen under the leadership of Dr. Marc Herman and Laura Curran. Thank you all for coming.
Mrs. McPartland, before you